The upcoming World Cup in Qatar is one of the most controversial the world has ever seen. The country allegedly bribed its way into getting hosting rights. It also imported tens of thousands of foreign workers and subjected them to its oppressive labor system, reportedly leading to several thousand deaths. Of course, the event is one of the most capital-intensive projects any group of people, organization or government can undertake. But as everyone is aware, the Arab countries always go big or go home. As a result, Qatar is on track to host the most expensive World Cup ever. Previously, the most expensive World Cups were the 2014 tournament in Brazil and the 2018 edition in Russia, both of which cost less than $15 billion. So, how much did Qatar spend to break this record? Also, how much money has been spent on stadiums, infrastructure, and other aspects of the 2022 event? That's what we'll be talking about in today's video, so stay tuned. Truth be told, there has never been a World Cup like the one being held in Qatar. Since the country was controversially selected to host the event by FIFA in December 2010, the nation has been building out the necessary infrastructure to handle the anticipated visitors. It's the first World Cup in the East and the first in the desert, so the amount of money invested is expected to be massive. This is why the event will go down as the most expensive World Cup ever if you add up all the costs, including those for infrastructure, as well as the pricing of building new stadiums and renovating existing ones. The event planners claim that the fans will have the opportunity to watch 2 games on the same day in brand new stadiums with built-in cooling technology while still having time to experience some local culture and spend a few hours at the beach. They will also provide the viewers with unrestricted luxury while they enjoy the most watched sport in the world in one of the richest nations. How much did it cost to achieve all this? First of all, a whopping $10 billion was spent on building new stadiums. There will be 64 matches played in 8 stadiums spread across 5 cities, with the final game occurring in Lusail. The Lusail iconic stadium can accommodate 80,000 people. The second highest capacity is 60,000 at Al Bayt Stadium in Al Khor. There are also 2 stadiums in Doha, Al Rayyan and Al Wakra, all of which can hold 40,000 to 45,000 spectators. After the World Cup, these stadiums will be reconfigured and any extra seats will be donated to other nations or used for the Asian Games in 2030. In fact, Stadium 974 will be entirely deconstructed after the event, becoming the first temporary stadium in World Cup history. The 974 recycled shipping containers that went into building the stadium will be distributed to less developed countries after the event. Beyond sports, a sizable portion of the budget was also spent on infrastructure and transportation. The underground transportation network, which spectators will use during the competition, was built in 2019 for a whopping $36 billion. To further facilitate transportation, the nation also invested $16 billion in its Hamad International Airport. Fatma Al-Nuaimi, the tournament's executive director for communications, also emphasized that the national infrastructure and business will get a major facelift. The healthcare and education systems are also both undergoing rapid development. In fact, some officials involved in the World Cup planning claim that Qatar 2022 is not a standalone event, but rather a component of a vast national urbanization plan that extends across the entire country. This is due to how grand and extravagant the whole preparation process is. However, as the event approaches, the backlash increases. Human rights activists, politicians, soccer fans, and the media have all claimed that 6,500, if not 15,000 people have died as a result of the preparations for the tournament. Unsurprisingly, Qatar has strongly disputed these figures, claiming that only 37 workers have died on stadium construction sites, 3 of which were caused by work accidents and the rest by other causes. So how much did all this preparation cost in total? Sources claim that Qatar has incurred staggering costs totaling about $220 billion. To put it in perspective, Russia spent $11.2 billion on the 2018 World Cup they hosted, whereas Qatar has spent more than 20 times that amount. Although other estimates from a Qatari official was closer to $200 billion. In any case, that would put the sum many times higher than what was spent on any previous World Cup or Olympic Games or even a similar sporting event. It appears that the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar will be the most expensive in a while, inflation or not. However, the next edition, which will involve 3 hosts in 2028 and be hosted by a combination of the USA, Canada and Mexico, may push the cost a few notches higher. The nation is not, however, making these efforts in vain. The Gulf country is set to attract 1.2 million visitors within its earlier estimated range of between 1 million and 1.5 million. They also expect the event to boost the economy by up to $17 billion, down from a previous estimate of $20 billion. So what exactly does FIFA spend money on since Qatar is already spending so much? In case you didn't know, the winners always receive a monetary reward from FIFA in addition to the great honor. FIFA announced the prize money in April at the Doha Exhibition and Congress Center. The total prize pool for the competition has been set at $440 million by FIFA, with $42 million going to the winners. In addition to the prize pool, there is $48 million or $1.5 million per participating nation available for preparation. Therefore, each participating nation will receive at least $10.5 million. At the 2018 World Cup in Russia, the prize money pool was a little less at $400 million, with champions France winning $38 million and runner-up Croatia taking home $28 million. The other significant operating expense items are $207 million for human resource management, $326 million for the cost of the rival clubs, and $247 million for TV operations. FIFA will pay the $1.7 billion total operating costs, but it won't split any of the money made from international television, tickets, hospitality, and corporate sponsorships. These profits are expected to bring in up to $4.7 billion. All this just goes to show that the World Cup is one unbelievably expensive event, and the next edition will definitely be more expensive than this one. How much do you think it will cost? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Bye. See you next time.